Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Peteman Reviews. This is the final part of our Micromaster review and we finish with the biggest one of them all, at least from the original range, Countdown. Unusually I've actually got the box for this one, so we can see him in base mode. Countdown is pretty large, as you can see. The actual toy, Countdown himself, is tiny. Obviously he transforms into a militarised version of a crawler with a rocket on. The actual crawler itself, if we take the rocket away, did appear throughout as Transformers Victory as the Autobot base, except Victory had another Transformer, a space shuttle, which stood here. I forget the name. And he basically stood there, so you never had the rocket. In Transformers Zone, you did get the rocket, and you did have the base again, the crawler again, and you even had Countdown himself appear in it. So, I know Zone was only one episode, but he did have a TV appearance. Didn't appear in the comics at all. So, the actual crawler itself is pretty decent. We'll just start off with transforming Countdown. So, his little moon buggy with his radar dish and so on. Radar dish seems to be quite difficult to get hold of. So it's quite unusual to get one with a radar dish now. It's obviously a moon buggy, and he just transforms quite simply, like so. He will sit in various parts of the crawler, but he will also quite happily stand here, and this bit does, it falls obviously, but that does go up and down as well, which is quite a nice touch. And the way the rocket mounts with the door that opens like so, you can do that and he'll nose plummet all the way off, but he will quite happily go within there for blast off. It's a pretty decent crawler. I did have this when I was a kid. It was the big present for that particular year. It's a big present, you can see just in terms of size. This isn't the one I had as a kid, obviously. You know, as with most of us, your Transformers when you were a child are long since departed into the wide blue yonder, which I guess is what pushes up the prices for everybody else. Okay, I'm just going to take the box away now because, actually we'll just have a quick look at the artwork at the back of the box. Quite a nice combat scene between Skystalker, split into the two parts, and Countdown there. I guess they had to put, obviously they put artwork on for all of them, but with the absence now of Transformers being as quite as prolific as they were, and as these guys didn't really appear that much in other medium, they had to advertise them somehow, and they advertised them on the back of boxes, so quite a nice bit of artwork there. Skystalker, you notice, actually appears in both base and aircraft modes at the same time. Indeed, the spacecraft mode appears to have taken off from the base mode, which is interesting, but anyway, I digress. Okay, this guy comes with a lot of accessories. There we go, and in fact I even knocked one of them on the floor, which is that. I am missing one piece, which is a little robot arm, which we'll just, back to the box briefly, that. There we go. That's the only bit I'm missing. That's like £4 by itself. I can live without it. Okay, let's move all this stuff to one side at the moment and show you how it transforms. To begin with, take this out of the way, take this off, take this off. So we want it facing this way. This comes down, I'm going to move that down so it's out of the way. That comes down next. That all goes up to produce the command bay. This comes out, and this bit then will go down. Makes quite a clicky sound as it goes down. So this gun will sit on there, and this is your main gun here. As you can see, the little toggle that it sits on is actually broken off inside it, unfortunately, so it's a little bit wobbly. Your command turret actually perches all the way up here. There we go. That's where your command turret sits. That's quite a long way off. You've then got the helipad, as you might be able to see. Let's zoom in. There we are. You've got little points all the way along here, and even back here. So you've got various connection ramps which will connect with a variety of other Transformers. Even the helipad's got another 2 connection points on it as well. So we're going to put it here for that. See, that's our helipad. We've then got this ramp. This has got 3 connection points which hook in here. This, with the connection point, hooks to the back of the ramp here, so you won't be able to see it because it goes down at the back. So it's down the back here. The idea is you can have a guy drive up here to get there. Gun in here. Another gun in here. Another gun here. And this is where the robot arm will go in, the repair bay arm, which I don't have. I'm just going to move that up a bit so you can see it all. And we've got 3 ramps, so each ramp looks the same, so you just put them on as you feel it. There's an arrow, which you can either have pointing up or you can have pointing down. Oh, we'll put that one there for fun. Okay, and finally, you might think that's it. It's not. I'm just going to move that. There we go. Because this transforms and then joins onto it as well. So that slides like that. Then rest it down. These flip open. This flips down, and I'm just going to move him out of the way because I'm going to flip this down to begin with. So you could have it as a separate base, and it's got a gun in here which swivels out. Quite nice actually. It's a separate base, or you can do that and have it just rest on the helipad, so it forms yet another part of the base. It's a big play base. Comparison with Skystalker will happily fit in the main part of the base here. So you've got all this extra part that appears and floats around, so make one huge set of Transformers. And as I said before, because these are omniversal, you could, if you so wish, connect Skystalker to Countdown to make a big base. And actually that is a really big base as well. So you could do that. He will connect to, with all these little connection points, he will connect to G1 Metroplex. It probably will connect to the base mode of Silverbolt. Fortress Maximus, I don't know, to be honest, about Fortress Maximus. He might do. Depends whether he came with any ramps. I think he did, didn't he? Yes, pretty sure he did. And Scorponok as well, so you could connect them all together if you so wished. Just take Skystalker, by the way. You need a lot of floor space to do that. Now, in terms of Micromaster Room, obviously there were a lot of Autobots releases Micromaster, so it's probably just as well they had so much space. I'm just going to go into handheld mode a bit here, so bear with me if it gets a bit wobbly now. Give you an idea of what you've got to see. Now you've got more guns here, or more pegs here, so you could, for example, put this gun here into one of these sockets if you wished, or you could put the radar into one of these sockets if you wish. You've got more options than you have weapons, so I guess it means that you can connect it with other playsets. You've got quite a nice command deck down here, a couple of pegs in them so you can stand your Micromasters on them. You've got more command decks here, so you could stand your Micromasters on there, though if they're a little bit tall like Countdown, they kind of hit the gun there. You've got more rooms here for them to stand, you've got more rooms here for them to stand, you've then got the runways parts here, as you can see that's the bit that's broken off in there. You've got another peg there, you've got what appears to be big engine rooms there, you've then got the ramp with the helipad, and then you've got the actual pipe there. So there's loads and loads of room, and what I like about this one, look, it's got stickers, it's actually got some detail to it. If we zoom in, you've got proper decals, so you can see there's different, obviously it looks like radar dishes. Okay, the computer's desk, on too much zoom there, don't let it refocus. The computer desks are actually very, very detailed. You know, you've actually got individual buttons there, which is quite nice. Shame they're all the same colour, but that's quite unusual to see. And then as we go further down, these have all got individual buttons as well. It's a highly impressive amount of detail. It has to be said, it was the premier set for the time. This was the one. Whereas before you previously had Peterman or Scorponok, this was the one for the time. So I was pretty lucky to get it, as I'm thinking about it. Obviously it wasn't quite as expensive as some of the others, as prices had dropped and as Transformers in general had dropped, but it was still the premier set, so a lot of details put into it. And you compare it with Skystalker, who, as we know, had some good detailing. Countdown's got so much more. They really focused all their attention on this particular set, and it looks great. You do need a lot of Micromasters to populate it, so you could have your race car patrol sat there, you could have him in the gun, and got another gun up here, you can have him just hanging out there, you've got another one there, you've then got room here for some more, operating that. You've got him who can, you can stand around here. You've then got this guy who can stand here. Yeah, so there are now 9 Micromasters on there, and you've still got tons of room to play with other ones. Size-wise, because the ramps are a lot smaller, you couldn't fit any of your G1 cars on there, except perhaps the mini cars like Bumblebee and Huffer and Brawn. They could probably run down it, but people like Jazz would be too big, which it's not a criticism because it was obviously made for Micromasters. But I say you've got 9 Micromasters on there, and they've just been absorbed into it. It doesn't feel crowded at all. You could probably put another 9 on there, and then it would start to feel a little bit more crowded. But that's the kind of size you're dealing with. Definitely worthwhile having. And I say there's no one on this ramp at the back here at all, so I think you could easily fit another 9 on there, and it wouldn't feel particularly cramped. Great value set. If you can get hold of one with all the pieces, you will pay a pretty penny for it. However, you could do what I did, and you could buy the base model and then buy some of the accessories. You will pay, but sometimes I think in this case it's worth it. So I bought these sections separately. I think they're about £3 or £4 each, which is a lot of money for a piece of plastic. But because they're quite chunky pieces, it kind of didn't seem too bad a value. I wouldn't spend £3 or £4 just on the little robot arm though, or maybe on one of these guns, for example, or certainly not on one of the ramps. But I say these are quite a fairly chunky piece, and they give you quite a lot of options with the actual main set, so they're probably worthwhile picking up. But don't go overboard. You can either get one that's thoroughly incomplete and upgrade it, or you can spend an awful lot of money for one that's complete. So the reason I went for that one is because it came with the box, which by itself is quite unusual. No instructions, but say you don't see many with boxes nowadays. And then you just add the other bits you need for it. There's so many accessories though. I don't know, is it worth saving on getting one with all the accessories? Possibly. It depends what price you can get, but there are so many accessories on it. You do need to think about it. I like the different colours. It's actually got 3 different colours, hasn't it? You've got blue, you've got light grey, and you've got dark grey. Skystalker only had 2. Well, he did have 3 different colours. He had blue, light grey, and dark grey. But the use of these feels better. And the stickers are what make it. It's a real shame that they didn't put those on Skystalker. It very much comes out as the poor man's relation, just because it doesn't feel like they loved it as much. This one is big, and it has the stickers, and it works really well. And I've probably talked about it far too much. So that's the end of our Micromaster Patrol. We finish on a high. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to watch some more videos, and I'll see you on the next review. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.